Excuse me. Ah, it's 1:30. Good. Hello, hello. Excuse me. As soon as I start coughing. Hello to all those who are joining and who will catch this on a replay. Thank you. I'm Mika, and welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today is my witchy review. I missed last Friday, so I'm ready to come in, talk about the witchy review. I'm going to talk about my reading that I did 2 weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, so I can't wait to talk about that. And just some random topics that relates to witchy business, I guess, as well. Hi. Hi, the alt Barbie doll. Good afternoon to you, too. It's such a nice day here in Arizona. I'm so glad the weather is actually nice. I was cold. It got cold. It was warm. It got cold again. I brought out all my clothes thinking I was gonna be, it was the summer again, and it got cold, so I had to wear jackets. And then it got hot again. So I don't know. This is schizophrenic weather here. But I'll go ahead and get started with my witchy review. This is what I'm reviewing. This has been out for not that long. It's kind of new. It was new to me. Anyway, but the Modern Witches Tarot Journal by Lisa Sterl. The artwork in here is everything. So just start there. Here's the back. I didn't even take the label off. I haven't wrote in here yet. I'm waiting to do so. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to use this book, but I love it. And when I saw it in Barnes & Noble, I went into the actual store and I purchased it. I couldn't believe how nice it was. I made 2 recent trips to Barnes and Noble. One, I did a haul, and then my daughter wanted to come with me because I went by myself. Oh, you have that too? Yeah, it is. I love it. And she wanted to come with me, so it was more about her. But I can't walk out the store without buying anything. But I saw this, and I saw that pretty blue and the pretty girl on the cover, and I said, yeah, I got to get this. So let me get into. I like that it has a little page holder too, so you can always find what page you're on. But anyway, as you can tell, I'm into these greens. If you look at my nails right now, I'm all about these spring colors. But anyway, about the book. So when you first open it up, it has this beautiful inside page. I love this, and it's just pretty. It's such a pretty book. I'm not like the art. Look at this. Like, look. The imagery in the book is just crisp. It's pretty. It's bold. It's colorful. I love this book. So I did a flip through in the store, and I'm like, okay, I gotta have this. Look at this. Look at this. So anyway, yeah, I dig this book. So let me tell you how it's not like it's not set up like a notebook where you just have plain line paper in it. Okay, you can see here. So you have blank spaces to write in it. Yes, it is. It's a tarot journal, so you're supposed to be able to write in it. However, it gives a lot more information than your average. Hi, T Gucci. It does give a little bit more information than that. So, I mean, it's what you would expect from a tarot journal. It's a place for you to write down your own card meanings. Let me pull that up. Yeah. So like this, it's a place for you to write down your own card meanings. So if it resonates with you differently, you can write it down here, or like this one, the High Priestess. You bought 2, one to collect and one to write in. I know, it's so pretty. I'm almost afraid. Well, I'm not afraid to write in it, but because I can't. Writing in a new journal is kind of like when it first snows and you step into the snow. That's the feeling I get. I don't know. It gets me going. I love that. I love breaking open a new journal and writing in it. I know some people don't like to write in them because they feel like you're going to mess them up. I can't wait to write in it. The problem is keep using it even, once I start. It's like once I stepped into the snow, the fascination's gone. I left my footprint, so I'm good. The other section, excuse me. Oh, let's get into me. First of all, just look at this page again. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my God, I love it. But anyway, tarot readings. So this is what it looks like when you want to write down your actual readings. Let me pull that over, yeah. So I thought it was pretty, I don't know, it gives a good amount of room for you to write your interpretation. It depends on the reading, of course. And there's longer sections too. If you have more to write over here, you can. So I did like that about the book. What I thought, and they give examples of creating your own tarot spreads. It's a place for you to put that also. So this is a blank space if you wanted to create your own spread. Now that I really like, because that's something I'd like to get more into myself in recording it. I have created my own spreads, but I'll put them in one of my books over here. And I don't think to have a separate thing like this where I can go back and look at it. In my mind, I just find the page here, and then I redo that spread again if I so choose to. But I don't know why. I've never set up that's why I bought the book. I never had a full dedicated book like this just to write down all my readings and things like that. So I like it. There's a section here for books. I don't know if I'll be using this because I just did something in my planner where I'll be recording all the books I read and would recommend and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll use this in that capacity. Maybe I'll change this up. So there's a place for books, and then there's like a old school they call it the inner circle. And this is where you would write down your contact information for people in your inner circle, your friends, your other, people who read. It's so presumptuous. Like, I know I don't really have, no, I don't even call anybody. So no, that's just not happening. But anyway, I like the concept. It's cute that you can write their phone numbers down and email and their website. Let me see. Yeah. You can write down name, phone number, email, social media, their favorite decks or interests. So I guess this is either people you might read for or, other readers that you want to stay in touch with or something. And then there's a section for events. So here, though, the events section is like the meeting topic. They ask for a date, location, who you read for, who read for you, and takeaway thoughts. Now that actually is something I can get behind, because there are times that I've read for people and I wrote it down or we talked about it, but I didn't write it down in a place where I wouldn't put someone else's reading in my journal, my book of shadows or something like that. But I would put it here. So that's actually, I like that a lot because I do read for other people. So that's good. And then there's outer circle. I'm sorry. So the first one was inner circle. Now this contact page is outer circle, and it's for professional readers and referrals. So that, that's different. And that's pretty much, I don't think I skipped a section. That's pretty much all the sections. That's it. So that's pretty much the journal. Those are the individual sections. It's a really cool book, guys. It's pretty to look at. The pages, I like, because I'm a paper snob. I love the quality of the paper. They're pretty thick pages. I don't think I'll have an issue with it bleeding onto another page when I write, especially like with gel pens and stuff like that, or marker type pens. I think it'll be okay for the most part, but it's full color for the most part. I mean, there's some black and white on the pages that you write on, but there's a lot of really pretty imagery to look at. So it's just something really nice to look at for the eyes. I like it. I would recommend, if you're looking for something like this, I would recommend getting this. Now I know they make a deck of cards. I don't own those cards. I don't know if I'll ever get them. I don't know. I like the artwork. Maybe I should look into it. I'm kind of happy with what I have right now as far as tarot cards. I still have my since I'm here, these bad boys. These are my favorite cards that I love to read with. The Everyday Witch Tarot. I know these are pretty popular. I've seen a lot of people use these cards, and their imagery is pretty, it's colorful, it's crisp, and I like it. I like these a lot. Like, they just resonate with me. Now, I have other cards, decks that are, the cards are dope. Of course they are. Of course, looking at the the artwork in the book, I imagine the cards are really cute. The reason I might consider purchasing the other cards, because I just like seeing so many brown girls. Also, the cards I just showed you, I don't think there's a lot of, in these cards, there's not really a lot of diversity, I'll be honest with you. And I love the author of the book. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I got it out here. The book here, Deborah Blake. I have followed this woman for years. I love her books, have been very helpful to me over the years. So I really, I like her style of writing. She writes about witchy stuff. So anyway, I love her books. Every day. What else does she have? Practice something about witchcraft every day. I forgot what the book is. I own it. But anyway, I love her stuff. But I do wish it was a little bit more diverse. It's not the end of the world, but come on, it's nice sometimes to have that. And maybe I will. Now I'm talking myself into, I'll probably get the deck now because I said all this. I'll probably get the deck. But now, if anybody has any questions, let me know. But I purchased it at Barnes & Noble. I walked in the store, so I don't have a link in the description. But about that reading, I took notes. I took notes. My daughter and I both took notes. I want to talk about this reading. So, if you guys may or may not recall, I went and got a reading done. There's a local place here that I went to. In my haul, I talked about the stuff that I purchased. This was the place that I went to, Stardust and Sage. It's located in Phoenix, Arizona. They also sell online. Love the store. But anyway, so I went, my daughter and I, and we got a reading done individually. It wasn't like a group thing, although we were both there for each other. And man, I went in pretty open. If you never had a professional reading done, which I had not, by the way, I've only done it for myself. I've had a reading given to me by someone who technically is a professional, but she just felt called to do it. And we were in a social situation. And she knew me. So that's why she did it for me. But I never sought out and paid someone to do this before until now. So it was interesting because I thought it was going to be cards. When I set the appointment, I remember the owner of the store, the reader, I'm trying to look for her name and I don't, forgive me. She didn't tell me, she asked me, what do you prefer as far as your reading? Do you prefer the cards or do you prefer, a different type of reading? And I said, well, I'm really open, whatever. For me, I felt like you're the reader. If you feel like you should pull out the cards, then pull out the cards. If it's kind of like if you came to me and you said, hey, I have some questions. Would you mind, pulling the cards out for me? And I would. So I would make the determination of what cards, I would go with my intuition. So anyway, I was thinking like that. Well, she used what she used. She follows Ifa, and she did that type of reading where she used shells. And I had never had that done. So that was a very interesting experience. So one thing that was said, and before I get to all the other stuff, one thing she did say is that they would like me to become, to follow, that path and to become a high priestess. And I was like, oh okay. So I waited. I didn't bombard her. I realized there's a certain etiquette in a reading. So I waited for all the information. I only answered questions, if she asked. She rarely asked any questions. She was basically telling me things of what, the messages that she needed to tell me. But we talked about a family curse, so that was interesting, and how to break the curse. We talked about how my current situation is kind of steady, like love life and all other aspects. Like everything is, it is what it is. So whatever it is, however my situation is, that's what it's going to be like for a while. Don't try to make any changes. Don't try to, mix it up. It just is. Like I'm at a point right now where this is it for some time, for the foreseeable future, apparently. But, and she said that's good or bad. So if, if I had the type of husband who was always out running in the streets and cheating, she said, I'm not saying, but if that was the case, right, he would just continue to be that way. That's how it would stay. So I was like, glad I don't have that type. And as far as financial stability, all that, she said that's, again, what your situation is, it will stay. So I felt positive about it. But at the same time, I was like, well, wait, that means first I was like, oh, that's good, because good things are good. But I was like, wait, does that leave room for growth? Because if it stays the same, how's it getting better? So that's kind of been in my head for the last 2 weeks. And so she talked about that. And she mentioned, I did not tell her about YouTube. I decided not to go in there with any, with my camera out, because I let my daughter go first, and then it was my turn. I just wanted like I wanted to make sure it was kind of authentic. I didn't want to give any information about myself. But she did say that the message that she received was for me to continue to do what I'm doing, this here. So that made me happy. And let me see. What was the other thing that she says that I thought I would share with you guys? It was something else. I have all these notes here. Oh, right. Here's something interesting. And I'm sure we all kind of identify with this, but she was talking about hair. And she was saying, don't let anyone touch my hair. Anyone perverted, her words. Don't let a perverted person touch your hair. And I was like, okay, now here's where it gets interesting. I don't have a lot of experiences where people walk up and touch my hair. One, I'm in a house a lot. Two, when I go out, I don't think I give off the energy that you should walk over and touch my hair. But for some reason, right before the reading and then shortly afterwards, I have had two different women come up and do like, well, I'll just do it myself, but they've come up, oh, your hair is so pretty, and like before I can even blink, their hands was already in my head. And it has been messing with me, because I was like, I could feel like months, a year or so went by, and I've never had that experience of somebody really actually, just without my permission, putting hands on my hair. And yet that happened, and she told me in this reading. So that's really been in my head, like, all right, so now I gotta, watch out for that. Oh, and she was just telling me that I have to be very mindful that someone may try to either like use me or steal from me. And she was like, do you have like a product or something you're selling? I was like, a product? No, I don't sell a product, not at this time anyway. And I was like, I'm not selling anything. I mean, I started the cottage witchery workshop. That's free. And then I was like, ding, 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 wait, hold on. There could be somebody out there, like, I don't know this, but is there somebody out there, taking bits of whatever they might like that I'm doing, and I, of course, because you play, you're thinking about all this stuff. And I'm like, is somebody going to steal my stuff? But I was like, they know it was me that did it. I don't know. I don't worry too much about that. But anyway, it's something to be mindful of, and I will not be ignorant and be like, oh, it's not important. Because there were some things that have happened between a hair thing for sure and a couple other things that I feel like, all right, well, maybe this was right. Maybe she was right. It wasn't even her. She was just interpreting from the spirits that were talking to her. What else did she say? Yeah, the hair thing. She was really concerned about the hair. She gave me extra steps. Although she said, I can see you're not combing your hair because, I got these locks in. But she was like, just be mindful of where your hair lands. Like, any fallen hair, combs, brushes, don't leave it out. And she told me to be careful doing divination with female customers have a witness. Now, I don't, I'm not doing readings. I'm not working on it at this time anyway, right? In the future, who knows? But currently I'm not. But trust me, I will not forget this. I will not forget it. She said the person's gonna have hi TK Brantley. She said that yeah, she was I need to watch out for that because they'll get the wrong idea. Like, I'll need to have somebody in the room to witness it. When you hear stuff like that, of course you're racking your brain like, well, I don't plan on having this experience, but I'm not. But then she said female could be somebody I'm related to, a friend. So just have, if I do it, I'll probably, if I don't have a witness, now I'm like, record it just in case something, this turns into something else. She told me that I should do possibly a cord cutting ritual. So there's that. And it's more about separating other people's expectations and what did she say? Yeah. Sever mental ties of possible expectations of others that put on so the stuff that other people put on me, doing a cord cutting for that. So I was down with that. I haven't done it yet. And whatever I come up with, I'll be happy to share because I see other people talk about cord cutting ceremonies, rituals, or what have you. And I don't know. I have never done one myself. I've never had to. So it's not like I don't know. I've never felt a reason to, but I will be doing one soon. And here's an interesting thing. For those of us who are not initiates, who don't formally follow, these more Yoruba-based traditions like Ifa, she told me that Oshun is my mother Orisha. Now, I don't talk about that here purposely. I rarely talk about that on my channel because it's a weird conversation because people they get funny about that because they have their belief and you can't claim something and do this unless you've been initiated and then had a proper reading for that. She's not telling me to go out and start everything's Oshun, wearing yellow, and she's not telling me to do that. She was just saying there's a connection that goddess has been like a mother watching over me. She sees me as her child. What'd you say, Dorcas? Hi, Dorcas. She said, hello. I'm glad I still found you on. Yeah, I'm glad you found me on too. Yeah, started just a few moments ago, so you're good. Thank you for coming. But yeah, this Oshun thing. She was saying that and I'll get to the rest of the message. That wasn't all she told me, but she was just saying that, anyway, what I was saying is I don't want to make anyone feel like what they were told or the way that they believe is wrong, and I'm telling you, something different. Like, oh yeah, you could do it, girl, ignore what they tell you. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I'm telling you, I've had real connections. Yeah, TK, yeah, TK. Yep, they get funny. My godmother is Emoja and my godfather is probably, okay. Yeah, they can get real funny. And I don't want to argue with anybody. I'm not claiming anything. I'm not saying that I am, I know all this stuff and all that. No, I'm telling you, there's been for years. Oh, you don't? Okay. For years I've had this. She has come to me like in a totally different, I don't know if you guys remember, I talk about how I connect with my ancestors, where I feel like we go to this other plane. I see with my mind's eye, my third eye. It's always the same place. Well, the funny thing happens, it's always the same place when it comes to meeting with this particular, well, we would say goddess, but, Orisha, Oshun. And it's not often. And I don't play with it either. I don't play with her. When she's willing to receive me and I feel like that energy is there, I do not play with that. It is not something that I feel like is, it's not an everyday connection. I don't do anything, my connection with her is extra special. She comes in those big times of a need for me. Oh, you say you're comfortable being a witch. You can never get anyone to help with the African. Yeah. Yeah. So I just received the information when she was telling me. But she also told me something else. And by the way, this was put into practice, so I know this is true. She told, and these are from my notes. She said, Oshun will help me soften my delivery. If you have not figured out, I'm a Jersey girl. I'm a girl from Jersey. And I think just growing up in the Northeast, I don't know. I just kind of feel like we're just a little bit more blunt and a little bit more direct. And, I've lived a lot of times in down south, Georgia, the Carolinas, Florida, North Florida, and then further South Florida. So I spent a lot of time there. And when I first moved to North Florida, I moved to Jacksonville from New Jersey. And I remember I had a lot of issues running in with people who they were getting really offended by the way I was talking to them. And I didn't get it. Like when I did a job transfer, I remember that. And the person who would become my supervisor, she wasn't at first when I first started. There was a shakeup just a couple months after I started at that location, but she was like telling me how negative I was. And I was like, I've never been told I was negative in my whole life. Nobody. And I'm thinking to myself, no one who knows me would ever say that. She didn't like that I was so direct in meetings. I would openly question procedures, processes whenever there was a change. I wanted to know, well, why? Well, what happened with the other way? And I realized that other people, no one else was talking. I was the only one in meetings talking. I was the only one expressing myself. And I probably had a more elevated voice, and you could see the hands. It's probably worse then. And I know my accent was probably even more on point then. I just put the Timbs in the closet. So it's like I was, Jersey all the way. So it has taken years, I think, to make it so I don't want to say I want to take away from who I am, but I also want to communicate with people where I'm still me, but I don't want to offend people. I don't want to isolate people and make people feel like, I'm mean or anything, or I'm being rude to them. So anyway, she was saying, Oshun will help me soften my delivery. And I've had an experience where I feel like that was actually put to the test, where no matter what, I was still very soft and I was calm. And I don't know what, in the moment, I was like, where the F? Like, I'm cursing in my head. Where the F is this coming from? And I was like, wait, oh shoot, this reading came back to me. And I was like, oh, so this is what they mean. This is what she meant. Because I was like, who is talking? Is this my voice talking? Because I was much more softer and nicer when I didn't have, I could have been a lot more rougher and blunt. Let me read this stuff here. Oh, you don't play with fairies? No, I don't play around with fairies. No. How do you connect with them in dreams or meditation? Yeah, I was straight to the point. I was very, very I've gotten better, but I remember saying something like, well, what is the purpose of doing this? Everything was working out fine. Why change it? And I remember probably having even more attitude when I said it, and people, I don't know, that was causing uproar apparently. And I ended up leaving that job, by the way, because I didn't like being told. And I made a lot more money in another job when I left, so it all worked out. But anyway, what do you mean, Dorcas? How do you connect? Are you talking to me? How do I connect with, are you talking about the Oshun thing? I'm not sure what you mean. How do I connect? How do you connect with them in dreams or meditation? Oshun or the ancestors? Because I know I just said two different things. I mean, technically both, yeah. Dreams and meditation. Yeah, both, if that's what you meant. That is probably why there are so many soul witches. So yeah, so I wanted to just say this. And then another interesting point before I move on, get back to this Ifa thing, because I kind of wanted to go there a minute. She said her friend will have me confused, meaning I'll just be being nice to said friend, but the friend is going to be a female. She implied it was a female, but they may think it's something else, something more behind those gestures of being nice. Now, I don't know who or where that's coming from, because I don't have anybody really around me like that. But again, I'm keeping it open for the future because I don't know. I mean, I don't really know a lot of people here. I'm open to make more friends. I'm talking about building community and stuff like that. The world is opening up gradually, slowly but surely. Yes, we're still taking precautions, being careful, social distancing, but let's just be honest. There's a big push for things to kind of get back on track. So I think we'll be in places where we're meeting people and being able to do events and things like that. So I guess I'll just be careful during a reading to have a witness and making sure that some woman I'm talking to doesn't think I'm coming on to her when I'm just being nice. And that's where the Jersey might come in because I talk with my hands. I'll probably touch you. I'm struggling with boundaries. I haven't been outside a lot, so I'm probably going to be like all up in your face. So I might be causing my own issues just because I'm so happy to be around people. I know. I know what you mean. I do too. I wish a lot of you, I know everybody doesn't want to live in Arizona, but yeah, it would be cool to have that community of people. And here's the thing, is just people, when you want to do work or you just kind of want to hang out with people who get you. You don't have to use other phrasings and things like that. You could get to be your full witchy self around. You go out for lunch or whatever, and you just talk, and it's comfortable. So yeah, I would love that. About this curse, guys, about this family curse. It's rooted in, from what she was telling me, fertility. And it's, I don't want to give all my business away in my family because it's not just about me, but in general, fertility, trouble, either conceiving, carrying children, that sort of stuff. And unfortunately, we've had that. Oh, you are. Wait, you are in Arizona, girl? All right now. Let me find out. Anyway, but yeah, so it has to do with all that sort of stuff. And then she was telling me, so the obvious thing is, well, how do I break the curse? And well, I didn't even have to ask. That's not true. I was thinking it. She told me how. So it would involve a blood sacrifice. I won't go into all the details, but it's something that could be arranged. It's not a human blood sacrifice, by the way, anyway, but a larger type of animal. And I have really, I'm not going to lie, I've really been giving it some serious thought. There have been some events that have taken place since the reading that really kind of highlight and showcase some of the things that I was already told, that she had told me. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Like, I hadn't been thinking about that before. I don't really do that kind of thing in my work. But at the same time, and she was telling me, this is not something you need to go do right now. This is not even something you need to do this year. She was real chill about that. Her thing was, it's big. It's a big deal. Like, this is affecting generations, including like my daughter going forward. Her, what she said, I would be concerned if she's in a relationship and she wants to have children. That's when she was telling me she would advise me to let's reconsider this again. At the stage I'm at now, if I don't want to do it, I don't have to. It's an investment. Financial is a couple hundred, I think, if I was to go through the process to get everything together. And then there's the actual process of mentally, right, emotionally. I've never did anything like this before, so it would be an emotional investment to like be part. I mean, I have eaten meat, yes, but to actually be there to see like an animal slaughtered or something, it's a whole thing. And I know a lot of us are kind of funny about that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I've been like really giving myself, just stopping and thinking like, do I need to do this? And I talked to my mother about it and my sister. Let me see, your reading sounds amazing. I've gotten them before, just as an overview, but whoever your reader is sounds like she was really connected. Yeah, she was. Oh, her energy was great. And like, I immediately felt a connection with her. I felt like something familiar. It just felt good. So I trusted her. I think that's good too. If you get somewhere, you don't know if you trust anybody. She, similar age, maybe younger, older, I don't know. I couldn't really tell. she was still dressed in all white because she's on her journey, her Ifa journey. So she's doing, her thing right now. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But you know, I did say when it was the part where I would engage and she wasn't giving me all the readings, I did say, well, what if I don't want to become part of Ifa? What if I don't want to? And I feel like what I'm doing is fine. And she said, well, then that's what it'll be. They're saying they'll have me, they would have me, and there's a place for me, and I could grow with them and all that, all the positives, all the good vibes and all that stuff. They want me, but not in a way like they want me like, oh, I have to do this. It's my fate. It's my life, or something bad's going to happen if I don't become an initiate. It was never anything like that, which I'm grateful she didn't pressure me or say anything like that to me, because she actually, I believe, shared a similar journey where she was not into any of that at all. And events happened, and she was told that she should, or that she was wanted on that path. But anyway, I still, I'm staunchly a cottage witch, and I think I'm going to stay that way for now. And I appreciate it, and I appreciate the information, but I don't feel like that's something I want to do, that I want to go down that road. So when I think about doing like a blood sacrifice ceremony to break a curse, it makes me a little uncomfortable, not because of just even doing it's not even that, because I understand it's part of the ritual. So it's not even about that part, like doing something to an animal, because I think it would be hypocritical, because I eat meat, right? For me, I feel like I would be like a poser. I'm participating in this ritual I'm doing, but I'm not really all in. And I don't like doing things if I'm not all in. It feels disingenuous. Yeah, she was very chill. And it just felt like that. So, she didn't push, and I'm grateful that she didn't. And maybe down the road, things will change. I mean, down the road, I mean way down the road. I don't mean like this year. I mean years with a hard S on it. Before I consider that. But I talked to my mom, I talked to my sister about this curse thing. And I wanted them to know what was said. It's a family thing. And my mom's jokes all the time. She's like, all right, well, go ahead and get the sacrifice. What'd she say? Go ahead and get the sacrifice and break the curse for us. I was like, you know what? First of all, you didn't even have no more kids, so what you worried about? And my sister just had twins 2 years ago. She is not trying to have no more babies. Those munchkins are giving her a run for the money. And she already had one, so she went from 1 to 3. And she's not having more children either. And everybody else, look, I'll do my best to help you, but I'm not really ready to do the necessary things that she suggested that would be necessary to break the curse. Now, here's the interesting thing. I did ask a question. I said, well, could I break the course by another means, using a different spiritual path? I said, because this is not what I follow. Could I do something else? And she, did the shells and all that. And it said no. So, no. Excuse me. I thought that was interesting. But anyway, and there was one other thing. And this is the thing the other stuff I wanted to share too, but this also, she was saying, because my daughter took notes for me. I took notes and she took notes for me, because that's the type of person that she is. She is a perpetual student. She loves doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, beware of what did she say? A sovereign being, a Igun, around my altar, who you may not want. So there's, some energy or whatever around my altar that I need to be careful of. So that, of course, stayed with me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I want to put up I removed my ancestor altar. It's been some time now that I've taken it down. And I wanted to find a place. I've talked about this before. I wanted to put it outside. And she was like, well, that's interesting. I said, yeah, well, I mean, it would be covered, But she did a thing of reading to find out with the shells that to see where in the house, and they gave me a place which I had also had in the back of my head that would make sense. So I said, okay, that's possible. I'll set that up and I'll do that. Now, she didn't say which altar. I have more than one altar, so I'm like, which altar is this thing around? Yeah, you said another god. I don't know. It was not, she didn't say it was like a bad thing, but she said that you may not want, I may not want. So to me, that sounds almost kind of negative. So that's also in the back of my head as well. So I'm about to go into some serious protection type work around here, beef it up even more than what I normally do. And I'm a little crazy with that already. So it's about to get real crazy in here. Cowrie shells. Yes, that's what it was. Yes. Oh, wait, let me go back. You're going through the cottage witchery course. Could I blend in other systems? Yes, actually, part 3, which I just put up, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Blending in other types of magics and all that. That's exactly what I go into in part 3, because for me, the way I practice, it's a hodgepodge. I will call myself an eclectic witch, probably, like I said, almost about 3 years or so ago. And now, upon further look and understanding of what it means to be a cottage witch, I said, oh, well, shoot, that's what I've been doing all along. So it's almost like all the eclectic stuff, which I'm glad I studied and I learned all this stuff, because it really helps me in cottage witchery, because that's what I claim, that's what I practice. And that is all encompassing. There's hoodoo, there's probably stuff that would be considered part of the Celtic path, or a little Wicca, because that's where I started, that's what I learned, and that's what's readily available if you want to get into witchcraft, let's just be honest. And stuff taken from, things like this as well. So yeah, I mix it all up. Hedge witch, green witch, all that sort of witchery, all of that. But yeah, so I want to make sure I didn't lose. What was the thing that she said? Yeah, the thing with the altar. That was the other thing. Which I was like, I'm like really about to thoroughly cleanse my altars. But yeah. So those were the highlights of my reading. Yeah, it's so much more to learn, and I feel like you could take a lot of that and tweak it, and just that's why I'm a strong believer in following your intuition and just going with what feels right with you, even if you don't, I guess on the surface, maybe it wouldn't appear that that's for you, but if you feel called to it and it's working, I don't know why you wouldn't just do it. Oh, a chaos switch or the click, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it fit right in. I don't know. That's why I'm gonna do a video soon talking about culture appropriation, and let's have a real conversation about that and what that means. And I think again, that's one of those things where it gets tricky, because I noticed that a lot of the newer witches, because they're younger, they feel very strongly about this stuff on both ends. Like I've seen conversations about this. And I feel like, I think everybody should be respectful, yes. But at the same time, I think when you try to make money is when you run into a problem. Let's just be honest. If there's some white girl who is doing the cowrie shells and got her head wrapped in white, and she's living out this, and, she's doing all that, that's great. I think what people have a problem with is if there's money involved. Her just doing that in her practice, and that's what she feels called to. I don't think many people have a lot. You might give it a side eye, but you keep going. In the same way, some black lady, dressed up in Nordic type, ancient clothing, wearing, celebrating, talking about the old Norse gods and full on, you might give a side eye to. It would get interesting if there was money involved. That's when things change, right? If she wrote a book about it, then you're like, well, wait a minute. Not saying you're discounting her practice and what she understands and her knowledge and all that sort of stuff, but I think that's when things change. It has been a tightrope walk, and that's kind of my thing. I think the biggest thing it's well, there's two things. It's the money, and I think other people just don't want to see it. And my thing is, if you don't want to see it, that's fine. Keep scrolling. If it's on social media, just keep going by. You don't have to have a full on panic attack and go on social media and blast people because they mentioned something that you thought was a clue, and then that's a whole other thing. Your closed spiritual systems, and it was tricky. But yeah, I'll dive into it because in the grand scheme of things in the YouTube world, I'm small potatoes. I think I can take a risk and piss people off and say things. I think I can piss people off. I'm not saying everything's open to everybody, but I feel like just some respect, guys, in both directions. Can we just have a little bit more respect? Because if that's the case, then we need to talk about the whole yoga thing. And that's not just the white girls taking over yoga, because we have black girls out here. Yeah, we do yoga too. And it's like, all right, are we doing a spiritual thing? Do you have people talk about, what is it? Ayurvedic lifestyles and that approach to everything and their spirituality that's a part of that. But people just see the products with that, or the food. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I'll flesh it out more and I'll break it down in a video. But that was the reading, guys. So she gave me a lot of information. I couldn't wait to share it. I'm so sorry that I missed last Friday. I had some technical difficulties, but I couldn't wait to share it because I was like, I feel like I was recently saying how I don't ever see myself becoming an initiate. And then she mentioned that and I was like, oh, okay. And another thing that I saw that she didn't use it for me, but she had this, the Hoodoo Tarot. We came and sat in a room, my daughter and I, and we, she sat us there. She went to grab something and she came right back. But I'm looking around and I saw the Hoodoo Tarot and I was like, that's my girl. I don't even know what she's about to do, but I'm in. Because if I just got that and I love it and she has it, then we're good. So that made me happy too, seeing that she had that. But yeah, all in all, the reading was very helpful to me. I don't see myself converting anytime soon. I don't see doing the sacrifice anytime soon, the necessary blood sacrifice. I'm thinking on it, but I'm still thinking on how can I take this information and use it uniquely for myself. So that's why we came up with the cord cutting ceremony or a ritual. As a way to sort of disconnect myself from that as well, which in turn may also help with my daughter going forward. So that's why I want to look a little bit more into understanding how to do a cord cutting ritual and how it would work for me and our unique situation, because it's for me, but I'm also keeping in mind like my daughter and like my son and if he has a daughter and so forth and so on. I don't want to keep a curse going. And talking to my mom and my sister, they're not into any of the stuff that I'm really into. They accept that I am, but they're not. And they were not surprised when I told them about the curse. They all were like, yeah, we believe it, yeah. Like, so you guys don't have any questions? Nope, we 100% believe it's true. So there you go. And this book is still excellent, and you guys should, if you want it, of course, you should maybe look into getting this, especially if you are into tarot cards. It doesn't really leave a lot of room for oracle cards, but I guess you can kind of tweak it a little bit. But yeah, this is a great book. And now I'm convinced myself and talk myself into buying the deck. So I'll let you know when that comes in the mail, and I'll share that as well. And I will blame the alt Barbie doll for that, because she said they were excellent and great, and I start really thinking about it more, and now I'm gonna go buy them. So thank you for that, by the way. So I'll put my Amazon order in shortly when I get off of this live. So thank you, by the way, for that. Did anybody have any questions about the Cottage Witchery workshop? Any questions about that? That's an ongoing thing. By the end of the week, I'll have new updates. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself instead of at the beginning of the week. So I said by the end of the week, it'll be updated. So it's something to look at in my mind on the weekend if you have time and you want to take a look. I do encourage, if you notice, On each section, I'll ask you to participate, say something in the comments, share something so I can know. You can send it directly to me if you choose not to make it public. There's an option to just send it directly to me for only me to see. And you said I'm going to love the deck. Thank you. Will I ever do a Zoom? You know what? That is okay. So full disclosure, I talked about this, I think it was in January or maybe February, about creating basically a virtual coven. So I still am thinking about that. I'm trying to figure out, initially I thought, well, Facebook, because I've seen it before, but I don't know about Facebook. Facebook has some challenges. And I really don't give the page Leap Taken on Facebook any real attention, to be honest with you. I even forgot I even had it. But I was like, well, is that a good place to do it? Because you can interact. It's kind of like a Zoom, but maybe Zoom would be better for that. And then I know people talk like having a Discord channel. And I only know about that because my husband's a gamer, and I know he uses that. Or what is the other one? Twitch or something like that. Anyway, Patreon. Yeah, I set up a Leap Taken Patreon. I did. My issue with that, again, is just trying to understand that platform. So I've never been in anyone else's Patreon. So I set it up. So is it a thing where I can set up something interactive where it's, we all can be on video? I didn't know Patreon did that. But that would be nice. What I'm envisioning, or just hear me out. I don't have it all planned out, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a thing where maybe at first we meet every other week, maybe every week. I don't know. I don't want to pressure anybody. Maybe at first every week just to get going, and maybe we spread it out like every other week or something. I don't know. And it's virtual. So it's a thing where everybody's on. It's not like I'm leading it, even though it would be, something I started. But I kind of want everybody to like interact. We can have planned things for, our high holidays and for the lunar phases, full moon, new moon, that sort of stuff. Something that's just kind of keeps going. If it's small at first, that's okay, and it gets a little bigger, I have no idea what to do if it got too big. But maybe branch it off into different ones. I don't know, 2 different covens. But something like that, where we do that. We share, there's a place where you can share resources, books, stuff like that, spells, rituals. If someone's having an individual issue, let's say I got a problem, or somebody else, I'm going through something personal, I'm sick or something, and somebody else is like, they're going through a divorce. Like, we do like healing rituals and things like that, like ad hoc. So normally we meet, at certain times, but because Susie's got this issue, we're all gonna, whoever wants to participate, we're gonna do this virtual healing ritual. We all know in advance what we need to have, and we're kind of in a position set up wherever you would do work if possible. And we're all basically doing, saying the words and spells and rituals and all that sort of stuff to help Susie through her divorce, or help me, healing energy when I'm sick. Maybe we can even send things. In my planner world, there's something called Happy Mail, where people send, it's like a pen pal, you send people stuff type thing. So maybe we can do a witchy version of that. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. Let me read here. You don't have Facebook, the Zoom, Twitter, anything that doesn't involve Zuckerberg. I hear that. Yeah. I don't know about Patreon either. Discord. So does Discord have video? Yeah, I guess it does have video. Okay. Discord with a Zoom setup. All right. So I'm going to look into it. This is something I think would be pretty cool to do. And it provides that sense of community for us who we want it, and we just don't live near each other, right? So we can get into it. And when I mean community, I mean like how a coven really works, where you have your normal stuff that you get together and do, but like you really support each other. And a lot of us don't have that as we work by ourselves. Yeah, we have friends, family, who love us in general. But when we're having issues and we want to take the spiritual approach, they hitting us with "I'll pray for you," which is, it's nice, but you want, your witchy coven to come in and do the stuff that, you're not feeling up to doing because you're sick or you're down or emotionally whatever, and they can come in and they can help you and give you that extra support. Audio chat. I like the idea of audio, but I think this is one of those things, video is gonna help more, especially if we're trying to do a ritual. If we're doing something where it's like, all right, because whatever it is, we want to make sure it's accessible. So let's say we're doing something where, like I said, it's like something healing for one of the members of the coven. And I'm saying, okay, well, everybody, let's make sure we have a white candle. Whatever kind of white, all you could find was a birthday candle, the point is you're in, you want to be a part of it. And we're all having our white candle. And, we're all kind of on the same page, doing the same thing, anointing the candle, like we all work together. And I don't know, maybe we can have like music in general playing. One person, me, I guess, would have music playing, and really setting a vibe as if we were in the same room, like almost like in a circle or something like that, except it's virtual. I don't know. Well, I will research. I will let you guys know. Obviously, I'll make a big deal about it and announce it when I do it. But I got to look in a Zoom. Remember, I don't like work or anything outside. So I know Zoom exists. I understand that. But I personally haven't had to be on any Zoom calls because I don't work from home or do anything like that. Now, my husband, they use Microsoft Teams, which I have access to, but I don't know how many people have access to that. And if you do, it's probably through your company, your job or something. So now that I know how to navigate with that, but I'll look into the Zoom or Discord for sure. He'll be all over it because he knows all about Discord. And I know my husband and my son, well, actually all of them, they're all gamers. They would be able to help me with that and get me set up with it. I know I probably already have an account set. I know I do because I play World of Warcraft. Because how can I not play video game at all? Living in a house with gamers. Look at my chair, guys. I didn't pick this out. My husband. It's a gamer's chair. Yeah, it's free. I have Microsoft Office and I know I have Teams, so there's that. But I want to make it so that, not everybody knows that, if, how to do that. To an extent, yeah, we pay for our office. It's a monthly subscription for Microsoft Office, but part of that is Teams. So I don't know, but I will look into it. But thank you everybody for coming to the live. Again, so sorry about last week. I could not wait to talk about this reading. Who else am I going to talk to besides my mom and my sister, who were happy to hear about the family curse stuff? Not happy, but they were receptive to that part. But all the other stuff meant nothing to them. Well, my sister, that's not true. She's down to hear it. But it's more like she's listening, but she's not, like you guys in the comments gave me a little bit more than what she would be able to give me, because it's not really her thing. She's not all in with this witchy business. So that's cool. But I appreciate you guys, chiming in about that. I really do, because I don't have a lot of people to talk to about this. So yeah, anyway, that's why I think maybe I really do need to start this thing, right? So I can have more people to talk to, maybe you guys too. All right, well, I'm going to end it. This is a good one to get. I'm going to put it to use. I swear I'm not going to just put it on my shelf over here and not use it. The things that I have up here are things that I want to get to often. So if you have a place like that where you can get to it, do that. So I'm not going to leave this on the shelf and ignore. I'm really going to start using it. So if you get it, use it too, and let me know. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks again for coming in. Thank you, TK. Blessed to you too. Blessed be to you too. Bye.